You've probably heard something about beetroot juice enhancing endurance performance, but is this truth or is this fiction? What does the scientific literature actually say? What has been proven? Find out by listening to my conversation with Dr. Tom Clifford, the world leading researcher on tart cherry juice and beetroot juice when it comes to recovery. So listen in, take some notes, share with a friend. About performance, and have you done any research on performance with beetroot juice, or have you just been looking at other people's?
No, yeah, mostly other people. So I've tried to stay in my lane with recovery mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I only know the performance nitrates from reading as opposed to actually doing the work myself.
Okay. So talk us through kind of what that research that you've been reading about performance, and how is that affecting, and what athletes and what kind of sports does it affect or not?
Yeah, so there's been lots and lots of studies on beetroot juice, and I think if you really wanted to know what benefits it might have in what sports, you can get hold of online some systematic reviews and meta-analysis data. And essentially, all these studies do is they will group together all of the studies and give you a one kind of score at the end saying, does it affect it? Does it not affect it? So if you look at them, if you look online, you can often see, say, a list of 20 studies that have been done on a specific area.
Yeah.
And if we look at this data, it generally is always favorable. So across all the studies, it suggests beetroot juice does have a performance benefit in endurance sports. Then I suppose when you nail it down, I think what people have started to do is actually look more specifically at what types of exercise it might benefit for. So there's not been too much in long duration stuff. That's what's quite interesting. So not many people have tried to look over an hour or 2 hours or things like that. There still needs to be a lot more research in that.
Okay.
And I think one thing that may help is perhaps multiple dosing as well. So little beetroot shots, having them on your bike or something like that, perhaps that might be beneficial. I mean, this is me kind of hypothesizing here.
Yeah.
I don't know research that's done it, but I think that's a possibility. Now, from a mechanistic point of view, so if we look at the mechanisms, how it will work, it's shown that it might work better for short, high-intensity bursts of exercise.
Oh, interesting.
So this is partly to do with the fact that we think nitrate might preferentially help fast twitch fibers. So our fast twitch muscle fibers are what we often use when we're doing really high-intensity, explosive bursts of activity. So if we think of the types of exercise then it could be short sprint activity. So anything under, say, 10 minutes of sprint activity. Yeah. It could be intermittent sprints as well. So looking again at team sports, so soccer, rugby, hockey, basketball, it could be beneficial in these types of sports. There has been some work in cycling and running for events, 10K, 16K, around that type of activity. There's also been some benefits shown for resistance exercise as well. And again, probably linking to explosive type activity. If you're going to go perform bench press or squats or whatever it might be, this is all activities that beetroot juice could theoretically help because it's using these fast twitch explosive muscle fibers, which it might help to benefit.
Okay, cool. That was more than I thought. I like, coming from the endurance world, I was like, well, it's for endurance because the blood circulation is supposed to be better than that. But is this just like a one-time thing, or are they like loading up 3 days before, or is it just directly before the performance or workout?
Yeah, it's a good question. And talking to Dr. Stephen Bailey, who I know you know, who's a real expert at this, I'm lucky enough to have as a colleague here in the UK. He talks about how what they found with a lot of the research is that if you give doses for, say, 5 or 6 days before, so you load up a little bit, it seems to have more of a beneficial effect than just if you have one single dose in the morning. So if you do tend to look at the research, it does seem to be that a few days loading before will be more beneficial.
Okay. That's cool. I always get excited when something is like, there's a lot of research in a positive direction. The next question is, beetroot juice is disgusting. Which isn't really a question, but